What's up, everybody? Paul Hickey here with the one, the only Coach Rod. Welcome into the Coach Rodcast, episode 7. I'm here with Ravenwood Raptors head football coach Ricky Rodriguez. How are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great. It's a ACT day here at Ravenwood High School, so it's a little quiet on campus. The schedule's a little funky, but that's kind of par for the course, right? We like mix up in schedules and short work weeks. So yeah, things are going well.
Good. Yeah, it is a different schedule this week. We're going to get to that later on in the episode, but Thursday game, Thursday, October 2nd at 7 p.m. this week against Independence at home and at Ravenwood.football. But coach, first, last week it was all about homecoming. It was all about CPA coming into town, one of the top programs around, really, and they play a lot of the top programs in the country. And Ravenwood looking like one of the top programs around right now, getting a win in overtime. Again, another overtime win, 28-21. I saw you at the end of the game. You were speechless. All I could say was that was crazy. And then that was it. Talk about it, coach.
Yeah, start with the atmosphere, right, Paul? That entire day from the parade to our pep rally to all the pomp and circumstance. I swung by some of the tailgates before we had our clap session, and oh my gosh, I didn't want to leave. I felt like I was in the Grove in Oxford, Mississippi. It was just super cool. Everything about leading up to the game was just top notch. And then obviously the game itself, right? I was speechless. It's getting to the point in the season where I'm running out of things to say at the end of the game. I feel like it's constantly the same message, whether it be a good performance all around for in all three phases of the game to nail biters. It's either an either or. That's what you're going to get out of this football season, right? But just once again, like our kids, our coaches, just an amazing effort by everybody that's involved in this program. And at the end of it, it was really cool to see, from the student body to the band to the fans come out onto the field and celebrate the victory together. It's what high school football is all about. And I'm just super proud of those kids. I think we continue to have kind of these unsung heroes, so to speak, that show up in critical moments or throughout the game where maybe they don't get, the publicity that some of our other guys that are going on to play college football. So like kids like James Nelson, right? Like it's a kid that, he was hurt the entirety of last year and he's replacing some big names in the secondary, right? For him to come up with a crucial interception, kind of swung momentum into the game, allowed us to tie it before halftime. And then, of course, they did go down at the end of the second quarter and take the lead in the second half. But kids like him, I know I've mentioned him, not on this podcast, but in other interviews that I've done. But Davis Dolan, right? Like we have a two-headed monster in that backfield, right? And he just continues to show up every single week and produce, And this is another kid, right? Like I think he was almost 1,000 yard back as a sophomore 2 years ago. Was a little banged up last year, probably didn't statistically have the season that he wanted, but is that guy that continues to show up week in and week out and produces for his team, and his teammates love him. We love coaching him as a staff, and I expect the last, you know, 4 games of the regular season for him to showcase out on that field on Friday night, and for him to be a key contributor, going into the postseason. And then a lot of other guys, we had a kid go down this week, Lucas McCollum, with a shoulder. He should be fine, but we had guys like Max Severson that stepped in on the offensive line. That was huge. Sutton Gutting had to pick up some slack on both sides of the ball, playing tight end and defensive end. Wyatt Appleton, he had a lot of crucial plays in that game. Probably will tell you that he should have had two interceptions, but it's really cool to see the cast of characters on a week in and week out basis kind of shine underneath those lights, and they deserve that recognition. We got a lot of the same guys that continue to lead our program also, and like Matthew Anderson, Danny Brown. Obviously the two quarterbacks. Caden Pace had another really good game. And then out on the perimeter, it wasn't a heavy dose of the passing game last week, right? We kind of had to beat CPA in their own game, right? I mean, they're recognized as a physical football team that wins the line of scrimmage, that wins the turnover battle usually. And for us to kind of beat them at what they're really good at and what they tend to beat, teams in 6A or in the AAA divisions at, for us to win a game like that, I think it speaks volumes to the grit that our group of kids have and the preparation that our coaching staff puts into this. We often say that coaching at a 6A program like this, it can't be a hobby. It has to be a lifestyle. And I know every single one of those kids and those coaches in that locker room absolutely believe that. So super pumped to be 6-0 at this point. But we had to turn the page quick. I mean, I said it after the game, right? We really do have this 24-hour mindset of we're going to enjoy it for 24 hours and then it's turning the page. Well, this week, with it being a short week, we treated Sunday as if it was Monday, and Monday as if it was Tuesday. And yesterday, we expect our Wednesday practices, which this week was yesterday, has to be the best day of the week. So we feel confident going in and prepared. And we had one of the better weeks that we've had all season this week. We still got one more day today where we're gonna kind of put everything together during our walkthrough after school. But this is a good team that we have coming in here in Independence. Great staff. They have a really good quarterback who's probably going to play college football on Saturdays at some point. So the Raptors need to be ready for a four-quarter game again. Yeah.
What a great example of homecoming being a week where everybody got to be part of it. Everybody got to experience, like you said, from the marching band, the cheer team, all the students, the student section. We were the My TV 30 game of the week. It was really a great show for everybody to see what Ravenwood High School is really all about.
Yeah, no, and back to James, right? Like, I mean, it's always really cool to see, just like, like I use Davis as another example. These kids who, maybe for whatever reason lose part or the majority of one of their seasons during their 4 years in high school to work so hard in the off season and to see them get rewarded on Friday nights, it's special, and especially in an atmosphere like that. I mean, I have to give a shout out to everybody from the cheerleading, the dance team, the student section, and especially the band. Like, me and the coaches were sitting around in the office afterwards, and they don't understand. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand what that environment does in a game like that. I mean, the fact that Jared Peterson, had the smarts enough to pick the side of the end zone, which our band was in, with CPA getting the ball second, right, going on defense first, and how that absolutely played a factor in those four plays. So shout out to Brianna, shout out to all the band people, obviously cheer, dance, and our raucous crowd at the Nest. The student body was unbelievable. I mean, they were going viral all over social media this weekend. I was getting text messages from my friends that coach in other states, and they're like, holy cow, man, like your your student body is so invested in your guys' Friday night atmosphere. It's incredible. And for those kids to be able to play in that environment, I mean, I'm going back, 20 plus years now to when I played high school football, and I never got to experience playing in an environment like that. So it's really cool to see. Super proud of everybody that's involved in that, and we need to keep that going because we got a big one here on Thursday night prior to fall break where we need everybody to pack the house. We need that atmosphere tomorrow night too because this is a region opponent who's coming in, with some confidence. They had a big win against Franklin last week, and I think that they're starting to click on offense, and they do some things on the defensive side of the ball that had us coaches, putting in some extra film time this week to prepare for them. So it's going to be an exciting game, and we're looking forward to it.
Yep. Another chance to see the great home atmosphere at the Nest this Thursday, October 2nd, 7 p.m. against Independence. Independence won 2 straight games, Coffee County at home and Franklin at home. So now they come to the Nest. They are 3-2, and it's going to be another good one. It's going to be another good one. I know that, we have 3 more home games and 1 more away game on the schedule. Coach, anything else you want to add for the Coach Rodcast today? I know you got to get to the walkthrough here in a little bit.
You guys did a phenomenal job last Friday. I got tons of positive feedback, especially about your broadcast, Paul. You continue to do it the right way, publicizing our program and our kids. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I do want to send a shout out to the families, that are going out, on their fall break trips. I hope you guys have safe travels. Remember, we do have practice on Monday and Tuesday. So, make sure that your players are able to make it to there because we're trying to keep this train rolling, and we're excited about the things that are ahead. So enjoy fall break, everybody. We hope to see you out there tomorrow night rooting on the Raptors, and G2 Bar, baby.
Thanks, Coach. Really appreciate your time. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.
You too, brother. Bye bye.